Okay, I don't know if we are going live or not. I'm waiting for YouTube to say otherwise. Okay, and I just heard myself. Let me hear myself again. Or not, I'm waiting for YouTube to say otherwise. Okay, so it works. Hello everyone, this is Dion. I hope everyone is doing well. And today, as you see, we're sitting in the cockpit of the Premier 1 by Carenado, and the reason why is because we're back to the grind. As I say in the description here, we're going to be grinding our way to greatness, and I was going to take off here and go just do this flight here and try to sneak in here this flight before 11 o'clock, and that's why we're in a fast airplane to sneak in before 11 o'clock, so then that way, because I have to go pick up my granddaughter from her school, because my granddaughter is starting preschool. So yay, my granddaughter. So without further ado, let me go ahead and get after it here. Again, I hope everyone is doing well, and like I say, we'll take a quick little look here, and that's what we are be flying today. And so it's all good and all rosy. And then we'll go ahead and get started here. And like I say, it's kind of there was somebody here just for a brief moment there, and then they left, which is most unfortunate. But that's just the way it goes. And the only thing I need to do is I need to start SimBuddy, get SimBuddy all fired up here. And that way SimBuddy
is connected.
Can keep track of my flight. And if you are on this SimBuddy network, you can follow my flight on the SimBuddy network. You'll just see me, and it won't say where I'm going or anything like that. It'll just be there. So without further ado, let's go ahead and go through the starting procedure and of the Premier 1, and go ahead and get going and get flying. So Active Sky
Enabled.
on is enabled. Active
Flight
Sky
plan.
is ready to go. Flight plan is filed.
Filed. Flight tracking.
Flight tracking. SimBuddy is engaged.
Enabled. Static elements.
Static elements
Starter R.
removed.
Removed. Oxygen system.
Oxygen system. We're going to go ahead and put here
Arm.
arm.
Static source.
Static source
Norm.
normal.
Anti-skid.
Take a
Norm.
swig of coffee for the working man's.
Landing gear.
Landing gears down.
Down. Battery.
Batteries
Off.
off.
Generators.
Off.
Off. Avionics.
Off.
Off. Boost pumps. Fuel pump.
Boost pumps is now on. Spartan Jeremy,
Auto.
hail to you, sir. I hope you
Fuel
are doing
transfer.
well.
Off. Bleed air.
Going
Starter
through
L.
these setups here. Yeah, I had to take a phone call, and I'm actually. Let me turn on my light here, because I see that my video is or my me is not getting enough light. The light's not getting enough light here, so it's. I see I'm chirping out there. But anyway, so yeah, had to take care of stuff and take care of the phone call and everything, so that's why I'm a little late. So I apologize for that. So I hope, Spartan, you are doing well. I haven't talked to you in a while. I hope everything is nice and wonderful in the wonderful area that you live. I hope there's no clouds and rain and all the other stuff. Over here in Southern California, it's not bad, but over here in the sim, over here at Albuquerque, New Mexico, yes, we do have some high cloudiness here, and I did go through a rainstorm last night. Over on my D-Live channel, I did a video taking the Cheyenne 2 from Albuquerque back to KWJF, my home base in Lancaster, California, and it was a stormy start. It was pretty cool, actually, and but it was a cool. It was cool to go through the rain and everything. It was pretty neato. So I think I need to put that video, because I talked about it in the description for people to watch later on, because I mentioned it here in this video. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. But then it was boring after the fact, because after you got through all the rain clouds and stuff, then it was just kind of like a normal flight and that kind of thing. But anyway, bleed air start. So we go here to bleed air. So we need to put that to off.
Blower.
Blowers to low.
Display and CDU switches.
What I need to do
Norm.
is I need to turn
AHRS
on
and ADC switches. Norm.
my cursor. Sorry about
Pressurization.
that. Now we should have
Auto.
cursor. There we go.
Thrust levers.
Thrust levers
Cut off.
are cut off.
Ignitions.
Ignition's armed. So we'll go ahead and go over here to arm.
Arm. ECUs.
On.
On. Engine sync.
Engine sync is off. Let's get rid of the
Speed
armrest.
brakes. Retracted. Pitch trim.
Pitch trim is
Norm.
on. Or norm.
Lip dump.
Dump
Retract
is
/
locked.
lock. Rudder boost. Norm. Rudder trim. Norm. Roll trim. Norm. Flaps.
Up. Brakes.
Lighting
on.
switches.
Lighting switches. Off.
Master test.
Off. Master test over here. Off.
Parking brake.
Parking brake is set.
Battery.
Battery. Need to turn the battery on now.
On. Navigation lights.
Navigation lights. On.
As required. Beacon.
On.
On. Engine ECUs.
Are on already.
On. Engine start. Starter start.
Okay, now I need to start the engines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mouse clip there. Go ahead and start engine number 2, which is on the back side. So we'll go over here and start the engine.
Thrust lever.
And we'll put the
Idle
thrust lever.
at 12% min and 2.
And go
Generator.
to right here.
ALT.
See it spinning right there. Spinning that bad boy up. Well, I was glad that you guys got a good weather. That's awesome. Okay, we are spun up. Engine number 2 is spun up, so go ahead and turn on the generator.
Reset / on.
Generator is
Engine
now on.
start.
Now they want me to do engine number 1.
Push.
Engine number 1.
Thrust lever.
See it spinning
Idle
up.
at 12% min and 2. Generator.
Looking good. And then we'll wait for this to settle out right here. I'll take a swig of coffee while we're waiting for it. Yeah, the previous video was cool. A guy asked me. He said, "Hey, you know, you don't mind flying the Piper Sienica 5?" And I thought, well, you know what? I haven't flown that airplane in a while, and I do own it already. I've had it for a long time. I just never done anything with it, so that's why I did the previous video. I went ahead and just did it for the guy, and it was nice. It was actually a real nice flight experience. What I do like about the Sienica is the fact that the Sienica, that particular airplane,
avionics.
Okay, I got to turn the avionics on. That airplane has counter-rotating props, so they spin in opposite directions towards the fuselage, and by doing that, that makes that Sienica 5 a real stable airplane, a real stable platform, and which is really nice. And I'm surprised other developers or other aircraft manufacturers don't do that. That's a nice, good selling pitch to somebody that wants a stable, because that airplane is pretty rock solid, you know. And I don't know why other manufacturers don't do that, but they, you know, that one is one of the few airplanes. There's other airplanes out there that do have a counter-rotating props, but because usually they both go the same direction. They both go, you know, the same way. Either, you know, usually it would be clockwise. You know, if you're sitting inside the cockpit looking out, usually the props are clockwise to this vantage point. And with that airplane, you got the left one is clockwise, but then the right one is counterclockwise in the Sienica 5. So yeah, it's pretty cool, and so which is quite impressive. But you know, other manufacturers like the Beechcraft, Baron, they don't do that. So you know, it is what it is. Not a big deal. Okay, so avionics are now on.
External power unit.
External power unit. I don't have it used.
Disconnect. Bleed air.
Bleed air. I need to turn the bleed air on now, which is
normal or
high.
high.
And then I'll put it on
cabin
high.
signs.
And then cabin signs over here. I need to turn those on.
No smoke / seat belts.
Galley power.
Galley power.
On.
On. Pressurization.
Pressurization is set to altitude, which is going to be 5,000 feet when we get to Sedona, Arizona, and that's where we're going today, is Sedona, Arizona. It could be the reason. It just could be some airframes will accept it. I mean, I'll have to leave that argument in there that maybe that airplane, the airframe is designed to take advantage of it, whereas other airframes with the counter rotating would not either be any benefit from it, or it may end up being a negative. As an example, like the Beechcraft Baron 58, maybe there's a reason. I'm sure they've tried it, and either they tried it and they said, well, that's just the way it is, we're going to keep it the same just to keep it uniform with our previous creations, or they tried it and it just didn't work out, and so, or it just didn't benefit anything, so they just figured, I'll just keep it the same. Who knows? That's just speculation on my part. All right. So we got that taken care of there. So pressurization is set and auto at 5,000 feet.
Auto, set for landing altitude. Master test.
Master test is off.
Off. Stab de-ice.
Stab de-ice. Stab de-ice is now
auto.
On.
ECUs.
ECUs are still on.
On. Rudder boost.
Rudder boost
check
is
slash
already
norm.
on. It's all that's
flight
checked.
Controls.
Flight controls. We'll go ahead and do the flight controls. And then we'll go ahead and take a look outside, make sure they are functioning. And they are functioning. All look good. There wasn't any doubt in the first place, but you gotta go through the motions.
Check slash free. Flaps.
Flaps set to takeoff, which is one notch of flaps.
Set for takeoff.
And that would be 10 degrees. Altimeter setting. Okay, we need to get the ATIS from the local where we're at right now. And then we'll go ahead and get the ATIS. And then we'll go ahead and go to
Double Eagle 2 information Yankee.
We're taking off for runway 22.
1500 Zulu weather.
And it's 26.
Wind 060 at 5. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 13,000 broken. Temperature 22.
Swig of coffee.
2.9. Altimeter 3026. Arriving runways 2217. Departing runways 2217.
And so that we're good there. So we're all set and ready to go. Now I need to go ahead and put in my flight plan real quick while we're burning fuel here. So I should already have the flight plan from a previous flight all ready to go. I just got to reverse the flight plan. And there it is right there. We want to be, this flight we're going to be 28,000 feet. So let's go to flight level 280 because we are in a jet and we go fast. And we'll go down here, and like I say, our landing altitude is 5,000 feet here. So then that way it'll calculate all of our climbs for us and our altitudes. So we need to be at 21. Once we get to Zune, we're okay. We're at 28,000 feet, but then once we get to Winslow, Arizona, we got to be at 21,000 feet and continuing to descent. So we're good to go there. Go ahead and reset our timer for our flight. Start our timer once wheels are off the ground. Then we go over here to flight plan or fuel planning. We'll hit position is what that means. P position. That tells us once we get in the air, in the distance we already know is 247 nautical miles, so that's not a big deal there. And our best rate of glide, that's what this ES is, emergency glide altitude is going to be 14,900 feet. And because we're going to be at 28,000 feet, we don't have to worry about that too much. So we go there, and then Reality XP license crap, so we don't have to worry about that. So I guess we are good to go there. So let's go ahead and finish our check list, and altimeters
set to
are
airport
set.
Local altimeter setting. Avionics, FMS, and flight guidance.
That's all set.
Set, programmed, and mode selected. TCAS.
TCAS, we'll turn the TCAS
Check slash
on.
set. V1, VR, V2, and 1 ref, flap setting.
That's all ready to go. If I can get it to
Confirm
click.
slash set.
Okay. And this is before
Transponder.
taxi. Transponder. Because we're going to
Stall warn
20,000,
heat.
we're going to make it 2200. So that takes care of that stall heat. Stall heat is now on.
Pitot/static heat.
Pitos are now on.
Annunciators.
Annunciators clear.
Clear. Ice protection.
No worries.
As required. Ignitions.
Ignitions are on.
On. Landing lights.
Landing lights, we got to now taxi, and then we can finish the rest of our before takeoff checklist. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and do that. So, release parking brake. This is not a Flight Jobs flight. This will be an FS Economy flight. We will go ahead and connect with the FS Economy network and get that ready to go. And then once we get to the hold short line, then I will actually activate FS Economy. Yes, I am cheating a little bit. Okay, we'll bring up our thrusts. And we'll do ourselves a quick little... Nice airplane. Very, very cool. Very nice airplane. Yeah, this airplane, people mistake the Premier 1 with the Phenom 100 by Embraer. The Embraer Phenom is real similar looking as to this one. The internal avionics are extremely different. I'll be flying the Phenom, but unfortunately the Phenom, the Carenado needs to upgrade it. It's the airplane just too old. It uses the Garmin 1000. That's the in-house Carenado Garmin 1000. That's a royal pain in the butt to operate. It just about every other, everything you can throw immersion away from you as a pilot, that airplane has. So, and according to, even though the ATIS says that we're supposed to be taking off for runway 22, the winds are out of the north, heading to the south. So we're going to go ahead and go on down here to the other side, and we're going to go down. We're just going to do this long trek down to the other end of the runway. So I'll expedite our speed here a little bit to get down there. Try to get up to 20 knots. But yeah, the Phenom is another good airplane. I mean, Carenado did a good job on that airplane. It's just that the Phenom is a classic example of Carenado not updating their airplanes and keeping their airplanes current, or at least evolving their airplanes. I would be happy if Carenado would make that particular avionics package a touchscreen avionics package, and then a touchscreen meaning you just click on the thing and you can just click on different stuff, and like right here you would click on the flight level like I'm doing right here, and then it would bring up a pop-up window, and you can actually put in with a numerical pad that pops up right along with it, put in your own your own altitudes right there. That's how in simulation world you would show you would show a touchscreen application. You would touch on, like right here is the altimeter setting, click on that, and that area of the pop-up window or the screen, it would pop up and it would show it. There is the only one that does it really well, and has had good success with doing that, because it is a challenge, a programming challenge with an aircraft developer, and a lot of programming time to make that happen. But the one that did it really well is Aerobask. Aerobask has very good airplanes, and the Epic 1000 has that to a degree, but they also, the Epic 1000 G1000 edition, that particular version of that particular airplane has a keypad where you would type it all in, which kind of takes it away a little bit. I like the Skyview, where Skyview is exactly like I said, you just touch and go. But anyway, yeah, I wish I wish Carenado would upgrade that airplane, because that's a fun airplane. It's only a 5-passenger airplane. This one was a 7-passenger, including the pilot, which makes it 8. So it's an 8-place airplane, the Premier One, whereas the Phenom 100 is only a 6-place passenger instead of an 8. But the Phenom's about a $1.5 or $2 million airplane, where the Premier One is a $5 million. I think it's $5.8 million airplane. So very expensive. Just depends on what mission you're going to go. You know, if somebody offered me either one of the airplanes or both of them, I wouldn't say no. What I would do is I would say, okay, yeah, let me have them both, and then I just turn around and sell the Phenom, keep the Premier, and then that way I'd have money to be able to afford, by selling the Phenom, to be able to maintain the Premier. That's how I do it. So anyway, we are ratcheting up in here, slowly getting there. Hopefully the video is coming across well here. I'm not seeing any drop frames. I am using Streamlabs this time instead of I need to get rid of that sound here. Let me get to the whole short line. I need to get rid of that sound. I've got my security camera that I put up in my house. There's a dog barking and it's making all kinds of noise. And I see we got another person in the house. I definitely welcome. As you see, we're over here at about ready to take off here in just a second here. We were going to take off at runway 22, but because of the winds, we're going to take off at the other runway, the other side instead, which, without looking it up, is escaping me right now, which runway we're taking off at. And they were in here briefly, because now it says that we're back down to 2 people. Runway 4, that's where we're going to take off at. Okay, so landing lights go on.
On. Recognition light.
Recognition
taxi.
lights on.
On.
Strobes on.
Strobe lights. On.
And
landing gear.
Landing gear will go up here in a minute once we take off. So line ourselves up and then we'll just make it happen. Set our pitch trim to where it needs to be. And then let's hit it. God have mercy on our soul. Here we go. And we also need to activate the flight. Almost forgot. There we go. So the flight has started, so we should get paid for this flight. Our takeoff is 140 knots. Gotta get there. 140 knots. Up.
Flaps.
Get a little bit more airspeed in here before I put those flaps up. Because if I let go, it will the nose will start to drop. Okay. Flaps up. We're good.
Up. Yaw damp. Auto above 400 feet.
Yaw damp is now on.
Ignitions. Starter boat.
On.
Arm. Engine sync. Auto above 400 feet.
Engine sync is now on.
Lip dump. Lock. Landing lights.
Landing lights, I can go ahead and turn them off. We're going to leave the recognition lights on.
Ice protection.
Ice protection, we don't have to worry.
As required. Altimeters.
Once we're into climb phase, recognitions, once we get up there, we'll go ahead and close this up for right now. And we go ahead and get set up. Set altitude 28,000 feet.
Altitude 28,000 feet.
Go ahead and set our speed at 200 knots. And autopilot is now engaged. Because autopilot's engaged, now we get to do the flyby. Over Albuquerque, New Mexico. And there's where we took off from, which is Double Eagle. Climbing at 2,500 feet per minute, and we are doing 200 knots indicated and 236 knots over the ground. Looking good. We are burning 314 gallons an hour at the moment. I need to back that off a little bit. That's a lot of fuel to be burning. So now I'm on the clock. I have an hour, a little bit less than an hour, so I really got to expedite this thing. So I am going to be going pretty fast, because I got to get there and hopefully get there and land really quickly. Nothing more embarrassing than setting everything up, and I was like, oh, sorry guys, gotta go. Which I do. I will have to go when that happens. So I'm not gonna leave my granddaughter stranded at school. Not when it's her, she's at that age right now where you've got to, well, the very first day, she was all excited, all ready to go, everything was fine, everything was happy. But since then, since that second day, to now, she's just like, oh, I don't want to go. But I think she'll get into it. I mean, she's only going to preschool, so all she's doing is just coloring and drawing and playing with her classmates and things like that. So, it's all good. Maintenance here. Okay, we're above, way above 10,000 feet, so we can go ahead and get rid of our recognition lights. And we are making another turn, so we can go ahead and do another still shot. Turboprops sound neater. They sound cooler, but hey, it's still pretty neat. I like it. Setting up all of, now we're going into clouds. Now we're not going to see anything. Currently IMC conditions. You go here, it's always cool to see the when you end up coming through the clouds. Got ice detection. above the clouds. Need to do something about that. So clouds are at 20,000 feet. I need to do some cleanup, add some ice. Rid of some of the ice. Ice went away. Leave the windshield heat on. As soon as I turn on those wings, my ice detection went away. So we're good. We're still climbing at 22,000 feet. All the way up to 28. Kind of scan the images. I want to have it set up where I could have another computer. What would be really cool for my flights, especially if I'm doing a live stream, would be have another computer set up with X-Plane, another copy of X-Plane, and then have the different views set up so then that way the user, like maybe a 1 minute or a 5 minute time limit or something like that, I don't know. That the viewer could, more interaction with the viewer, could share the flight where I can have the other computer set up where that stream they are controlling that camera position so they can look around and that sort of thing. That would be a very expensive endeavor, obviously, and heck, I don't get any money for what I do right now anyway. I've only gotten one person donate to me through PayPal, and I got $1 whole. But that would be cool to have something like that where I could set up a computer, have another copy of X-Plane, and then the viewer could sit there and I can only do one of them because I'd have to have, if I had 10 computers going with 10 copies of X-Plane, synced up with the main one, the simulator one, which is mine, that would be epic. But again, very expensive endeavor, and it would never happen. You just couldn't do it. But it'd be cool though. It'd give that other level of interaction between me and the viewer to be able to look around, and so then that way they just wouldn't be relying on whatever I show them. They can sit there and take the controls of and only allow them to be able to have it set up where it's like in a kiosk mode where you can look around and stuff, but you can't do any manipulation of controls of the airplane. That would be kind of neat. Be a true sitting in the cockpit of the airplane. So now that's we got 1,000 feet to go. I'm sure somebody that's got a lot of money would do that. If they wanted to do that, they could do it. And because we are, I need to go 2992 on our altimeter setting. So far the stream looks good. I don't have any drops so far. Knock on wood. Knock on particle board. Alrighty. We are at 28,000 feet. Judging from what I'm seeing on those clouds, you may have to go to 30 or 32,000 feet. Get over the weather. And also I would be burning less fuel too. So let's go up another 4,000 feet. Let's go up to 32. Spartan, again, I hope you're doing well. Been doing fine. I moved out of my old house. When the last time I did a video, well, other than yesterday's video, I was in my house that I've had for 25 plus years, and we moved into my dad's house. We renovated my dad's house, paint and new flooring and things like that, and got into my dad's house. We moved into there, and just kind of going on with life. And then we got to get all of our stuff. I've got 20 plus years or 25 plus years of junk that is in my old house that I have to throw away. So hopefully I can get that done by the end of the year, as slow as I go, and then sell that house, and then that way I have some money to live on, because as you know, I'm retired, so I got to have money to live on. My wife does work, which helps out a lot, helps out tremendously. But to sell that house and then just go on with life. I'd like to take some of that money and actually go through some training and learn how to fly for real. But no, that's I need to live first. Food is more important. Food is always important. Yeah, this airplane really starts to save in fuel once you get above 30,000 feet, I've noticed. You get above 30,000 feet, if I had more time, I'd pull back the throttles back a little bit, get about 400 to 425 knots out of this airplane, and be cruising. But again, because I am pressed for time, I'm going to try to get us there as quickly as possible. The last thing you want to do is fly in an airplane and be in a hurry, especially in the real world. So, very good. So everything is fine here. Everything is looking good. Just make sure there's any other cleanup that I missed. Everything looks fine, fine. Avionics on. Everything looks good. Just reviewing everything. I'll keep those wings ready in case ice. I don't think I'll have to worry about ice because I'm above the clouds now. But you never know. You could get water vapor. We got all these on. All our lighting is all set. Everything is fine there. So now it's just the boring part of just cruising now. And go ahead and bring up this and see what let's see, our top of descent is going to be way over there. Go ahead and get the ATIS frequency for the ATIS set up for here. So once we get there, it'll come on and I'll find out which runway we're going to land on. We're going to be landing on 03 or 21. 03 I prefer because 03 I have a lower terrain to deal with. 21 on the other hand, I've got terrain, right there, and you have to just drop in, and just dropping in, it gets a little difficult with this airplane. With a turboprop, I don't have a problem. With this airplane, I have a problem. It's just me, me learning the airplane. So, we're good to go there. last time also, as you've been on Spartan, I also updated my or changed my weather injection program. So now I'm using a different weather injection program, and it's called Active Sky XP for X-Plane, Active Sky for X-Plane, or Active Sky X-Plane, I guess. And it's been really, really good. I've been really happy with it. Pull back on my speed a little bit here. Keep it up, but yeah, I really like it. I mean, I really like this airplane. Really a cool airplane to have, but yeah, I really like Active Sky for XP. It's got a lot of variety in the clouds. It does have, a matter of fact, I can go over here. Let me get let me move OBS out of the way. And then here it is right here, a quick synopsis. This is what you get when you start, and it gives you all the information of the airplane, or I'm sorry, of the airplane, of your weather conditions. You can control the weather historically, live weather, or do a custom weather with this weather program. You put in your flight plan. Now I just did a VOR to VOR flight plan, but I'm actually doing a little bit different. And you can see once we are in pretty good shape here. We got a few high cloudiness here and there. But other than that, once we get to into Sedona, Arizona area, I mean, after Winslow, Arizona, we're clear, no clouds at all, right on it, right on in. And it gives you your current conditions, exactly where you are, the altimeter setting on the ground, and where the cloud layers are. So that's really, really nice. Like I say, the flight plan is from a VOR to VOR navigation perspective, which I'm using Victor Airways, which is not exactly the same as this one is. It gives you your briefing. It can give you an audible of your briefing and stuff, which is really cool. So it's a nice addition. Really, really good. I really like it. Like I say again, knock on particle board. Don't have any drop frames. And we're only doing 388 knots because I'm trying to keep from burning up my engines. We got a 34 knot headwind. Once we get over these bank of clouds, I will start to descend, just to get a little bit, try to squeeze a little bit more speed. Doing true air speed, I'm doing 421, but ground speed, I'm only doing 387. So I am kind of not, or I'm just not getting where I want to be. Which is kind of a bummer. Can't do anything about that. And live traffic is not giving me any airplanes in my area, so there must not be nobody here right now. Because I'm pushing it, I am doing 196 gallons an hour is what I'm burning right now of jet fuel A. So, just for fun, 196 gallons times $4.05 a gallon US. That means it's costing me $793.80 an hour if I was going the full hour, which I'm not. So that's why if I had the real airplane, I probably wouldn't have it. I'd probably be flying that Cienega because it's just, that's insane. Spending almost $1,000 or $750 plus an hour on fuel. That's just crazy. And I'm in economy mode, by the way. I'm doing Mach 7.2, so which is cool. So, like I said, I am booking it. Oh, so I guess on Streamlabs the chat only works if you're using your a mixer. Oh, okay, well, something I just learned. Because it has a chat box here with Streamlabs OBS, and I see Richard is in the house. Big howdy to you, Richard. I hope you are doing well. I'm glad that you enjoyed that video. Yeah, Richard, I'm not. I'm in a fast airplane because I have to go pick up my granddaughter here pretty soon. So I'm trying to whip out an FS economy flight and make a little money for the company and for myself for FS economy before I have to go pick her up. So we're in the Premier 1. So I definitely appreciate you stopping by. Hope my audio is coming in okay. I hope I'm not over-modulating, because it does say with Streamlabs OBS, it does say I'm just peeking into the red. But not much is going on here. Like I say, we're in cruising mode right now. We're coming up to Zun, Z-U-N. And just trying to scream over here and hurry. Yeah, I'm in the Richard. I'm in I'm in the Premier 1 because of time. That's all. Just because of time. I wanted to get my flight in and then go pick up my granddaughter. So here's what I'm flying today. But I really did have a good time. Turn down the audio there. I really did have a good time flying the Cienega. The Cienega was a really fun airplane to fly. I think I'm going to, the Cienega, I will go ahead and put a paint on it and get my November 502 Delta Mike branding on the Cienega. So yeah, this is another... Every airplane I have, I own, I like. So why buy it, right? So yeah, that was a good flight. So like I said, I'm in a hurry, trying to get to Sedona, Arizona, get a little bit of money for the company and myself before I have to go pick up my granddaughter. My original plan, because you see last night, if you go over to my D-Live channel, I think my D-Live is Dion M01. If you search on D-Live Dion M01, I did a flight last night, and on that flight, yeah, for sure, last night I flew from KAEG in Albuquerque back to my home base at KWJF in Lancaster, California. And I had some weather and everything else, so it was fun, lightning and the whole 9 yards. So the dashboard was lighting up, and the wings were lighting up. It was kind of cool. And because the Librain, I think they call it Librain, is the plug-in for the windshield water effects, was on that airplane. It was really good. This one has it too, but I'm not in the weather, so I don't have to worry about it. But on that plane last night, on that D-Live stream that I did last night, yeah, it was cool. And the first part of it, after that, then it was boring because then there was no more weather, and it just kind of, the rest of the hour and a half or 2 hours of the flight was just me flying the airplane in the dark. and but I was gonna do some short flights, you know, because I can, you know, all the money to be made in Southern California is really doing short flights like KWJ up to somewhere, then from somewhere do a 100 nautical mile flight or whatever. That was my plan that I was going to do today, but for some reason that ferry flight from Albuquerque to Lancaster just didn't work out, didn't accept it, so that's why I'm doing this one today instead. Actually, let's go over here to this image. Not much to see on that one. You just see the engine spinning and that kind of thing. But Carenado did do a good job on this airplane. You know, I'm happy with it. I just wish Carenado would, you know, be more aggressive in keeping their airplanes updated. Because, like I said, I'd be flying the Phenom from time to time as well, because I really like the Phenom 100. But they haven't updated the airplane in so long that that it's just, you know, it's just sitting in my hangar and just, you know, collecting dust, metaphorically speaking. But this airplane is a nice airplane. I really like it. Oops, wrong button. There we go. But yeah, they did a good job on this one. My favorite place, if you mean where to fly to and back and forth, actually out of all the places I like to fly, I like to go from Lancaster. Oh, a favorite plane to fly. Really, that's a tough one, because to be honest with you, when I spend the money to buy the airplane, I already know that's going to be one of my top ones. But if I had to pick all my airplanes, it used to be to be honest with you, it used to be and it's still, I have it in high regard, was the, I'm having a brain fart, what you call the damn thing. Give me a minute, it'll come to my mind, give me a second. It's always turboprops. Turboprops I'm always going to favor over jets. I'm always going to favor turboprops over jets, just because I like the props. You know, I like prop planes. I got no problem with jets, but to answer your question, it would be the MU2, the MU2 690B, the Marquis. Okay, I just lost my for some reason my computer just decided to. I think I just lost my camera. Oh no, I got it back. For some reason, my computer decided it wanted to power cycle my USBs. So you just saw that. That was weird. I'm okay. Back going again. Airplane's still going. We're okay. But anyway, I would say the MU2 6090B was my favorite. Now, I don't know. That Piper. That turboprop Piper is just really up there. Gosh, that's a hard one, man. That's a hard one to actually pin down. Because every airplane I buy, you know, I buy it because of either it's functional or it's just a joy to fly. I don't know. I would... I would say probably still the 690B. It just needs to be updated. Tyler, what's his name? Tom Tyler, that's his name, over at X Aviation needs to update the airplane. He needs to get it into X-Plane 11.35 quality. Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah, there's a lot everywhere. I mean, those airplanes are really good airplanes for short. Every airplane you mentioned right there was great for short takeoff and landing. And, you know, they've got their purpose. And also, if you're doing short flights, you know, it's just common sense. Once I've noticed that here doing
vertical track.
Okay. Okay, now we're coming up. We got 1 minute left before I got to start to descend. I found with FS Economy, if I only have like a 100 nautical mile flight, a 50 nautical mile, it does not make business sense for me to fly the Premier One. It just costs too much in fuel to go such a short trek. So what I'm doing with FS Economy is I'm taking the smaller airplanes. And now that you turn me back on to flying the Seneca 5, I might be flying that airplane more because I didn't have any problems with the Seneca at all. It's a very stable platform to fly with. Having those counter-rotating props is really, really nice. You know, the Baron Commander, or the Baron Commander, the Baron the Baron G, or the G58, or the Baron 58 is another good airplane. I attempted to get the Duke because the Duke has a turbine version. So basically, it's kind of like the Duke is by RW Designs. Is basically a Baron that is got turbo fans on it. Okay, we need to start our descent. So I'm going to back off on our power here. And we'll start to descend. Set altitude 5,000 feet.
Altitude 5,000 feet.
So we'll go ahead and lose some power here. And we'll descend at 200 knots. Maybe. Once it gets down there. No, unfortunately, I do not have a real world license. I would love to, but with my financial structure the way I am poor. I am a poor SOB, so I do not have a PPL. I would love to have a PPL. I would like to go get flight trained. I would love to get a multi-engine rating. I would like to, I think if I was going to choose something to fly, to have fun with and actually try to make money with it, I would probably get a seaplane. One thing that they talked about at AirVenture, EAA AirVenture for this year, is I watched a video on how here in the United States there is not very many people who fly float planes. Float planes, there's a lot of pilots that just don't fly float planes. They all fly regular airplanes. And what I would like to do is I would love, which is probably never going to happen, to be honest. I'm going to be real with you. It'll probably never happen. But I would like to have a float plane to be able to go into areas because I do have the adventurous type. I do have the adventure in my blood. I would love to have a float plane and be able to fly into lakes and streams and whatever. Mostly lakes, obviously. You can't fly into a stream or a river. You can't fly into a river. I mean, if the river's big enough, the Colorado River in certain parts is big enough. Mississippi River is big enough here in these states. The Columbia River up in the northwest is big enough. That would be a dream that I would like to do, and then turn around and try to monetize it, make money off of it. Actually start doing videos, flying float planes, flying into hard to get areas, get proficient at it, that kind of thing. That is true, William. You never give up hope, but when you're 53 years old and with my financial situation the way it is, I just don't see it likely ever happening. But that's why I focus my efforts in the YouTube channel to get my flight fix by flying airplanes in here. Unfortunately, with switching gears to X-Plane, they haven't really shown a lot of love into updating, updating the float plane aspect of X-Plane. It's either all or nothing. When you land, or if you're sitting around, you get a lot of head bobbing. The airplane is sitting there be bobbing where there's no waves and that kind of thing. People have tried to fix X-Plane with it, but it just doesn't work out. what laminar research really needs to take the time and then focus on, getting, landing on water more stable and more realistic. It's just not realistic right now. Well, that's cool. That's cool. Well, congrats to your brother. That's awesome, Richard. For young people, I mean, yes, even here in the States, I mean, there's a pilot shortage, even here in the States, where they need pilots because they figure more and more people are going to be flying, and obviously, if more and more people are flying, then cheaper and cheaper tickets will become. It's just the typical laws of supply and demand. The more people fly, the more people. And I was watching a video, kind of going off on a tangent here. I was watching a video where this guy, they were talking about the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Crash, his airplane crash. It ran off the runway, caught flames, and burnt to the ground. And how this guy came in this ABC News video, and how this guy was saying how it's safer to fly commercial aviation than planes and whatnot. And by the statistics, yes, it is true, but that's changing. I mean, small airplanes are becoming more and more safer because there is more and more tools out there for situational awareness and pilots to use to make flying your airplane safer and safer. And this guy was going off, and it really pissed me off, to be honest with you. This ABC guy they just basically commented on some guy, and I of course I had to make a comment about it. I ripped him a new one, telling me, dude, you're full of crap. Yes, airplanes are, they're statistically yes, but that's just because the volume of flights that commercials fly every day somewhere. There's always somebody in the air in commercials, whereas there's not as much in general aviation and corporate, but they're still there. And so I wish the guy would have said, I wish he would have handled his answer to the interviewer more tactfully, more professionally, and just said, yes, statistically you're right, but with the shortage in aviation and aviation pilots, we need these people to come up. And it was a bad move. It was a bad move on this guy's part, and it really pissed me off. And as you can see, if you look in front right now, you can see the crater here in Arizona. The orthos do depict the crater, which is kind of cool. Very, very nice.
Sedona weather. Wind
Okay.
150 at 5.
Sedona.
Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 31. Dew point 0. Altimeter 3014.
3014. And he didn't give me a runway. He was saying 150.
Sedona weather.
314. Let me put in my altitude. And I will keep on going here. I may have to hand land this thing. Absolutely, there's definitely more car crashes than airplanes. It's just common sense, But it's just common sense stuff, It's just stuff that everybody knows. Car crashes happen every day, somewhere. They're happening all the time. And I'd venture to say probably every 12 hours. If you're going to take the world as a whole, at least every 12 hours, there's probably a car accident somewhere. I just pulled that hours out of my butt because I really don't know, but I would think logically, because statistically, there's car crashes happening all the time. So you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Okay, we're coming up on 10:30, so I gotta get a little aggressive on my speed here. Which means my descent, I'm gonna descend to 8,500 feet first. Yep, for sure. Richard, I totally agree. We have the same thing here in the States. Same thing. As soon as somebody gets their hours, then they're out of the school and boom, right into a job. That's how it is here in the States. It's amazing. And I'm sure in Spartan Jeremy's out of England, so I'm sure England's the same way. As soon as people get their hours and boom, they're gone. They're in a job, which is good. But for me, I've always been self-employed. My dad owned a business. I was worked for my dad for the 30 plus years, and so I've always been a boss. And going to work for somebody would be very difficult for me because I have been in that mindset. My mind has been wired to, be in control, take responsibility, deal with everything you have to do, to get a job done or whatever in my field, which is electrical. I'm an electrician by trade, and so going that how my brain is wired, I would probably be the same way in any job. I would be kind of like, dude, I can't do this. I gotta be the boss. And I see my son's coming home from school now, so he's pulling his car in here into the garage, which is good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a pass. I'm going to set up my my approach. We'll do a visual approach of 03, load it, get it ready, and then once we fly over Sedona, we'll see what the SOC looks like. Right now we're making a beeline for Sedona, Arizona at the moment. We're just heading directly there. Because 150, I could land at runway 21, and probably that's what I'll end up doing. Matter of fact, I probably should do that. But then I'll get there and I'll see that the wind has changed. We'll go ahead and do, I don't know if I can accept that right now. Maybe I can. And what is my altitude? They want me to be at 5,800 feet when I get to the 3-mile marker. Alright. I'll go ahead and save some time. I'll go ahead and throw some lights on because they are exterior. So we're fine there. I'll escalate it down. We'll land this beast. Well, maybe roughly at 6,000 feet. Yeah, I like the landing replays. I just don't do them all the time because, to be frankly blunt and honest with you, Richard, I forget. I need to put a bullet point, you know, have a list of bullet points. Okay, I'm going to do this, this, and this, because as you can tell, everything I do is unscripted. It's just kind of, you know, it's on the fly. You know, I do things on the fly. But yeah, I think I need to do a bullet point. And they're a pain in the butt to set up too, to be honest with you. I wish there was a little bit of easier way to do it. Also too, if you noticed on one of my videos, on my just my video that was just a pure musical montage, you saw that the one video when I was coming in to land, you could see the video card wasn't drawing the textures on the airplane very well, and that's a turnoff. But yes, they do look cool, especially different angles and that kind of thing. Oh, I'm over speeding. I'm at 250 knots. Can't be doing that. As soon as I get into the canyon here, as soon as I make my turn, I get into this canyon, then I'll immediately start descending. So it will pick up. Should line me with the runway. I don't want to hit the deck. That would be bad. Thank you, sir. I definitely appreciate you stopping by, Richard. It's always good to converse with you. And yeah, we'll land it here in a few minutes and get out of here and go pick up my daughter, or my granddaughter. So I definitely appreciate you stopping by. That is awesome. Definitely tell people that that you know this Dion guy here in Southern California does these crazy videos. It'll be awesome. Laters, my friend. Yeah, the wind's still holding true. I can just get my X-plane to chill out, because my X-plane right now is going crazy. Really don't want to misapproach. Yeah, I'm too high. Now let's go around. I am too high. Did not capture the glide slope. Keep my speed up. Sync heading.
Heading to 13 degrees.
Let's go switch to heading mode, and then I'll make my turn, and we'll try this again. One thing I did not want to do. Okay, we'll climb up to 6,500 feet. Rather be safe than sorry. Flaps back up. We'll leave the gear down. We'll get those flaps back up and get that drag, remove some of that drag. And we'll line up and we'll do it again. It's all right. I'm gonna clear this hill. Am I gonna clear this? No, I am not going to clear this. Alright, so we'll go 70, get this thing up here really quick. Just scrape the side of the mountain, no problem. Alright, we'll try this again. Make sure I'm not going to hit anything, and I'm not, so we're good. Alright, let's try this one more time. See if I can acquire the glide slope this time. Gear down, lights on, flaps 1, pull this thing down. All lights are on, everything's fine. Okay, good, good, good. Try this again. All you gotta do is capture that glide slope and I'll be a happy camper. It's just not going to capture it. so that's okay. I'll just, alright. My plane, I'm going to have to land it myself. So, hand landing the aircraft. God have mercy on our souls. Coming in hot. Ghost Rider's coming in hot. Come on, land, 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 land. There we go. That wasn't bad. That was actually pretty good. I didn't like my flare and all other happy stuff, but I don't care about that. 115 feet per minute, that was good. Okay, apply a little bit of brakes. Success. Gear up, or sorry, flaps up. Landing lights off. Strobe lights off. Here in the United States, we have our strobe lights off when we are taxiing. Did have a 7-knot crosswind, but I did get it on the ground. So what time is it? It is 10:49. I need to be, okay, I'm gonna have to expedite this. I need to get over there. Get credit for this flight, and then I'll have to log out. And where's a nice good parking stall? I'd say this one right here. Good as any. Close enough. Brakes are on. Confirm brakes are on. Did not accept it. Yeah, that one did. There we go. Both engines are off. Everything is good. Everything looks fine. All lights off. Boom, boom, boom. Pull in, or turn everything off. Boom, boom, boom. Off, off. Off, off, off. Off, off. Off, off. Off. Come on. Mouse. Act. Mouse, be nice to me. Okay, everything is done, done, done. Off. Boom, 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 boom. I didn't have the sync on. That was already taken care of. So we're good to go there. Alrighty. So we have made it. We have successfully landed the airplane. Everything is fine. Okay, we're going to do a real fast landing. So let's go back right here. One more tick right there. Okay, then we'll go over here to external, tower. Oh, it's supposed to be tower. Doggone it. Not chase. Tower. Tower. Okay, there's the tower. Then I will hit the C key. So then that way I can go over here. See, I landed right about. So we'll go over here. That should be about right. So we'll let the thing come around. I can't see it right now. To accelerate so I can see it. There, okay, here comes the plane. I see it, and then I will go back to normal. Okay, now we're at normal speed. Here comes my plane. As I had to hand land the thing and get aggressive. Trying to get a good shot with it. I don't want to get a shot in the center because the center will just... Had all my lights on, which is good. There, I'm feathering it. And, oh, you can see the... There we go. Very nice landing. That's what 115 feet per minute looks like. And got my reversers going. There it is. Very good. Ah, lost my mouse. Oh well. Okay, well I need to wrap this thing up because I gotta go pick up my granddaughter. So, mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. Very good. And then we can go over here real fast, and we'll go over here to FS Economy, and then go over here like this. There's FS Economy. We'll refresh this page. And I did make some money. Very, very good. That's the most important part. Paid $2,500 for me, $2,000 for the company, and we had ground crew fees of $500. So all is good. Progressing right along. I'm trying to get $1 million because one of my fellow flyers, Bug Eater 64, wants a Cessna 208, Cessna Grand Caravan 208, and so I've got it between myself and Solus. I'm trying to get $1 million, million plus, and I'll be able to buy that airplane for him. So then that way he can continue. That's the airplane he wants to fly. So, which is all good. It all works out. Well, again, I definitely appreciate everybody watching. Definitely like, subscribe, and all that other happy stuff, and donate. I got the PayPal links with the description down below. Well, eventually I'll have to put all the particulars in and that sort of thing, and I will do that. But for now, definitely at least like and subscribe. I appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys next time on another exciting X-Plane adventures as I go pick up my granddaughter. Take care, guys. Hope you enjoyed it.